Tomorrow is the second round of the Southern League and Open from Steamers, which is at the bottom of the New Forest. So first thing I do, get out my diary and see what happened there last year. So 52 people fished last year with 105 pout, 60 whiting, 24 bass, 9 rockling and 6 dogfish and a few other little bits and pieces. So last year I only had 1 pout, so let's hope we do much better than that. But unless more dogfish turn up than last time, we're going to be aiming for those whiting and pout. So let's get to the beach.
So welcome to round 2 of the Southern League and Open from Steamer Beach. It's a much nicer evening than it was at Eastney last time. Steamer is just outside Chichester Harbour, so we've got Steamer Point to my right, and to my left we've got Friers Cliff. It's a sandy beach, bit of shingle, quite shallow, probably going to be a scratching match. By that I mean you're scratching around trying to find anything you can, possibly rockling, pout, little whiting. Last year there was some little bass. There's been whispers about some small-eyed ray, but I think if you target the small-eyed ray, you're risking blanking as well. But it won't surprise me if the winner doesn't get a small-eyed ray or two. But I'm going to go for the small stuff. I've got scratching rigs, I've got 40 centimetre snoods, size 2 or size 4 hooks. I've got a selection of baits from maddies, blowlug, ragworm, got little bits of mackerel, and my secret weapon is a small pot of crab's legs, which I quite like for the scratching around, particularly for the rockling and the pout. So I've got 2 rods with me this evening. The one I'm going to start with is the Tronics Pro BZ4, and I've got 3 and 3.5 ounce leads. That's the main plan. Just chuck it out 50-60 yards and scratch around. With a plain lead I can keep tweaking it and moving it around, see if we can find any spots that are holding fish. But I've also got my Century Super Match in case I need to put something a bit further. But from what I hear, the matches here have been fishing really close. So I've got 3 types of rigs set up. I probably can't see them in the dark, but I've got 40 centimetre snoods on this with size 2s, I've got other ones with size 4s, I've got some with 25 centimetre snoods, again with size 4s. That's all it's going to be.
So I like all my baits neat and tidy, bite size, so I don't miss the bites. This is 4 maddies on a size 4, and there's ragworm tipped with a bit of that crab that I mentioned earlier. And then at the moment plain blow lug on the bottom hook, but I'll probably try tipping that with squid later. So hour 1 check-in, and I've got 1 whiting for 5.5 ounces. I caught that one on maddies, fishing really in close, at most 20 yards. It's quite difficult fishing that close in, because although there's no wind, there's still quite a large swell. The waves are burying the lead and keep plucking at the line, pulling the line down. So I'm trying to find that sweet spot just behind that nonsense and mess that's going on. See if I can find the fish just behind it. But really, I'd like to be a bit closer. I've heard of the odd dogfish and pout being caught, but not in any great numbers, not yet. If it carries on like this, I think I'll get the other rod out, put a lead a bit further, use fish baits, maybe I'll find more of those whiting or pick up a bonus dogfish. Well, that won't do. So hour 2 check-in. I've now had 2 whiting and a pout. I found the pout, but most of them are undersized. Most of them are coming in on the maddies, one on lugworm. But the bigger problem is the swell. It's not windy, but the swell is so big that I'm struggling with the lighter rods. I'm going to change up next cast to the heavier rod. And one of the waves was so big, I mean, I'll show you in a second, that the water looks like it's 20 or 30 yards away, but one of the waves was so big it's come up and actually flooded the beach shelter. So I don't know if I'm in quite the right spot on the beach.
Not hearing many reports from anywhere else, but there is the odd dogfish, and it takes a lot of little pout and whiting to equal a dogfish. So I'm still getting that odd big wave coming through. You can see the foam washed right up to the edge of my beach shelter, and yet I've got to walk about 30 yards down before I get to where the sea actually is. So I'm having to fish quite a long way from the water. Just a minute. There, you can see back up, right up to the beach shelter again. So hour 3 gone and no more fish. When I said earlier I was going to change to the heavier rod and put it at distance, that last cast with a lighter rod, I've been fishing quite close with just 4 ounces. Just before I was going to change over, the swell pulled the line down into the shingle and actually cut the line. So I'm having to use the bigger rod. I'm not fishing close where I want to be. I'm further out. At the moment I'm not finding any fish out there. And when I try to come in closer, then I'm getting caught in that swell again. I'm hoping that it's just that it's the top of the tide, and that's why the fish aren't there. Maybe it'll pick up. So hour 4, it's been a bit miserable, but just on the hour I've got 1 more pout, so I'm up to 18.5 ounces. It has been a bit miserable, but you know, at least it's warm, it's been dry, there's no wind, but that swell's been difficult. It seems like I got off lightly. I've been flooded a little bit, but some people got flooded so badly by those couple of rogue waves, they've packed up and gone home. But anyway, that's 1 more pout on the card, and that was at distance on ragworm. And there's not that much cost. You've got to keep going to the last minute. You know, it could just be that one last cast where you get that one dogfish or a double shot of whiting. It could make a huge difference at the moment. I don't think I'm doing well, but I don't think I'm that far behind. Keep going. So it's one of those nights, it's all still quite close. We've only got half an hour to go, but I've just found out that the 2 people next to me, they've got 4 pout and a dogfish each. I've got 2 whiting, 2 pout, so 1 dogfish, and I've caught up with them, maybe even overtake them. So you just got to keep going. I have seen people walk past me because they've packed up and gone home. And you just got to endure, get that last cast in, see if you can get that last fish. So I got that last minute fish, but it wasn't the dogfish I was looking for. Just a 3 ounce rockling. So I finished with 21.5 ounces. So I've got to be positive. I only had 1 fish last time. I had 5 fish this time, but I did only get an 11th. So the results overall. So there's 47 fished in 3 zones. Zone A was won by Ben Arnold with £8.11. Second was Liam McGrady. Third, Daz Newlands. Zone B, the winner was Darren Stevens with £3.14.5. Second, Ian Ellis. Third, Harry Coxhead. Zone C, Dan Mogridge won it with £12, 7.5 ounces. Second was Ian Dancy, and third, Joe Wells. Largest flat was Ian Hillary with a 6 ounce flounder, and largest fish on the night was Dan Mogridge with £2, 1 ounce dogfish. So we're already starting to see the same names appear week after week. That will probably continue. Ben Arnold won the championship last year. Next month is Chesil Beach. And if you're interested in getting involved in the SLO, I will leave links to the Facebook page and the website in the description. It'd be great if you left some comments. Tell me what you think of what I've done so far,
How could I improve it? What would you like to see? And I'll try to respond to all the comments. Or if you've got questions about match fishing or fishing in general, I will try to respond. If you like and subscribe, it'll help me spread the message and get more people into match fishing. So will I blank on the beach of broken dreams? Who will give Robbie Ginn a lift to Dorset? For answers to those questions and more, you'll have to tune in to the next episode. Same bat time, same bat channel.